Hello, this is Sonya Roseman, actress, filmmaker from Rochester. I thought that I would make a couple of short videos of biography of my life. Hopefully some of you guys might want to watch it. Okay, so I was born in Rochester in the late 70s, won't say what year because I don't like the idea of getting old. I was born on the Fairway at Fairbourne House. I was born on the 7th floor at number 35, and I've got a brother and sister, Warren and Nicola Roseman, and my mother is Anne Roseman, and my dad, who has passed away now, is Wallace Newton Morris. I believe we lived there for a couple of years until they bulldozed it down in 1981. My mum took me up there and we watched it from my pram. And then we moved to 2 Leeward Road, which is literally just around the corner, and that's kind of where my memories start from, really, I guess. Yeah, great memories there for my brother and sister. My brother and sister were quite a lot older than me, so 10 and 11 years apart. So pretty much, you know, they were 11 and 12 when I was just a baby. So many years later, I became an auntie when I was literally just 10 years old, and I've been an auntie many times since then.
That's okay. And have you always lived in Kent?
No, not always lived in Kent. We moved to North Wales with my stepfather. I never grew up with my father, Wallace Morris. And I didn't even know of him until I was 14. I thought that my stepdad, Steve Gilbert, was my dad, because that's what I was told until that point. Yeah, so we lived in North Wales for the most terrible 18 months of my life, and they hated us up there. It was dreadful bullying, but it was North Wales, and it was Blaenau Festiniog, Gwynedd, in the middle of two slate mines.
Okay, but why did the bullying start?
The bullying started because I think I was English and I had a different accent, and I guess I didn't fit in. I was a new kid over there. Yeah, but as a child, we moved everywhere. We lived in North Wales, we lived in Derbyshire, came back to Kent again, finally. But yeah, literally, I'm sure that lots of Welsh people were really, really nice, but I would never, ever, ever move. I wouldn't even go there for a holiday to North Wales. I'd never go there again because it got so bad that I got my nose broken in the end, and I was only 10. Yeah.
Okay, and moving on from that,
yeah.
Tell me more about your mother and your father.
Okay, my mum is from Sherwood, Nottingham, and my dad was born in Calcutta in India. He's Anglo-Indian, or he was anyway. And I'm very proud of my roots, literally, because I thought I was my stepdad's daughter, and when I actually found out that I had this amazing family from another continent, you know, and Indian, and it was just so interesting. So interesting. Eventually, when I did meet him, it was lovely. Yeah.
Did you always get on?
No. No. We fell out a lot, you know. We fell out quite a bit. I don't know, I guess maybe because he wasn't there, then maybe that's why we didn't have that bond. But however, later on in years, like 4 years ago, just before he passed away, that's when we got this really, really great bond. We went on a couple of holidays, went to Thailand, India, and he showed me around the places that he had been going to. And my dad went to Thailand for 25, 26 years. It's fantastic, you know, to have a parent that's travelled like that, and to have a parent that's so open. Taught me many things, taught me, you know, positive things, yeah.
And I know your mother is the most special person in your life.
Yeah.
But what makes her so special, and has it always been that way?
Yeah, my mum is she's the best lady that I know. Yeah, I love my mum so much. And when you when you lose a parent, because I've lost my dad now, you realise how much of importance that the other one that you've still got here, if you're lucky enough to have, you know, that one still here, that they really are. She is amazing. She is strong and she's a big fighter. My mum is 68 and in the 60s she was a proper hippie, you know, like, you know, and that's where I get it from. And she brought me up to be caring and not judge people like that, you know. Many things, so many things, but she is awesome. She is just the best person I know. She is so much fun. But no, we didn't always get on. When I was growing up. Oh God, it was awful. She used to kick me out a few times, like I'm not being rude or horrible, you know, mugging my mum off or anything. Like I wouldn't dream of doing that. But yeah, it wasn't always such a good relationship with her at all. But now it is, and everything is forgiven. And you know, past is past, and you've got to get on. You keep living in the past, that's where you're going to stay, and that's why you need to get on, get over it, and that's how you can embrace and have all the good things. That's what I think.
That's fair to say you got closer to your mum as you got older.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, ever since I became a grown-up, but I'm not really a grown-up because I don't feel like one.
Apart from your mum and your dad, what are the biggest influences on your life, like musically, culturally, actors, actresses?
Influences. 1960s music. Again, my mum brought me up on Motown, 1960s music, old 50s music. There was always music in our house when I was growing up. So, you know, with my older brother and sister, and it was coming into like the punk kind of thing back then when I was little. So I had all of that, all of these amazing people around to sort of show me the way to go, and I was just a little one. Like, that's how I learned, and that's where my influences come from in that way. But acting, you know this already, like Marilyn Monroe, she's adorable, love her. For every single, I could talk about for about 10 hours now. But yeah, similarities are quite the same, I think, even though she was majorly successful and I'm not. But so many things. Audrey Hepburn, Rita Hayworth, all the old glamorous actresses, you know. Who was that one who played Robin Hood?
I have no idea.
It was big in the trouser department. Errol Flynn.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, he was lovely. Right, back then, not because of that, but he was just. He was gorgeous. Yeah, but I just remember him running around, and you know, he seemed to have a big old, you know, whatever down there. I'm sure it was stuffed with socks or something.
Well, tucked.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Talking about acting and acting. How did you get into acting? How did it all start?
Basically, I don't remember this. My mum tells me this. I used to stand on the table at 2 Leeward Road, and I used to have people from my playgroup, and I would tell them big stories that I'd made up, and I would sing songs and all of that. And apparently, all of these little kids would just sit there like this, like. And I don't recall at all. But yeah, that's where it started. And when I was 8 or 9 years old, and that's when we moved to All Hallows from Leeward Road, we lived at 10 St Matthew's Way for a couple of years out there. And they gave me the main part as Cinderella. And that's pretty much where it started for me there.
Okay. And what films have you made to date, and what are you most proud of?
Oh, I've made a lot of films now. Crikey. Operation Omo. Yeah. A 1940s film that I made with Colin Marrison, who is my other film half. So guys, have a look at www.marsonfilms.com. That's our new site. Got to plug it a bit, you know. We have a few of our films on there. There's lots of documentaries and stuff like that to go on there. But yeah, so yeah, there's so much that you can go and have a look at. Also on YouTube as well. If you go and look at Skit Heads TV, not Shitheads, Skit Heads TV, there's loads of stuff on there. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a little bit of a following. That'd be good.
But what makes that one so proud for you? What makes a difference to the others?
Okay, Operation Omo is about a washing powder that was in World War II. I believe that you can still get it in certain parts of the world. I'd really like to have, a pack of that washing powder. I'd never use it, but yeah, I'd like to have it. But anyway, yeah, my nan in World War II, apparently when the men went away to war, it meant old man out or old man overseas. I remember because rations were literally not enough for everybody to eat, or if your cabbages and your potatoes and your carrots and stuff didn't grow, you went to a grocer down the road. Well, some people did, not everybody. And this is how the Omo comes into it. I don't want to say too much. I would like people to watch it, really. But yeah, I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of that film. And also Ghost of Bluebell Hill. My phone.
Okay. Just going off tats a little bit. If you know what you know now, what would you do differently, or what advice would you give yourself as you go older? If anything.
I really don't know. I don't know. Try harder when I was younger, I guess. Literally, I would say, in the way of films and things like that, it's only really happened lately, in the last few years, and I am just very grateful to be given the chances that I have. I really tried when I was younger. I used to go for auditions and all of that. I never get any of them, and it really used to take the wind out of me. I used to buy the stage once a week, once every couple of weeks, can't remember now, it's quite a long time ago. Send my pictures off, send my CV off, but I didn't actually have that much experience. And my first part came in 2005, and that was The Dealer with Dave Courtney and Dave Legino, John Thompson, and Craig Charles at Red Dwarf, and that was an elite part, and that was amazing that I actually even managed to get that. I still can't even believe it now. That is still. I watched that back. It's a short film, and I still think, I'm so proud of that. Yeah.
Okay. And to get to that point where you were, I know there's been a lot of bit of trials and a few tribulations in your life, especially health-wise. I mean, do you want to elaborate in sort of the challenges that you faced with that?
Yeah, I have suffered with bowel disease ever since I was 19. I believe it comes from my dad's side of the family. So I have ulcerative pancolitis, and that means it's a disease through your whole bowel. I believe there's a footballer that couldn't play football anymore. He had to have his bowel removed and stuff like that. There's certain, there's a lot of people that have this disease, but it depends how bad that it is, and that has really, really held me back from working and eating even, and so much, pains and cramps and blood, and this is every day. So if you can imagine, I don't want to be too rude and too vile and disgusting, but if you have got a really bad tummy, but yet it's every day of your life, all the time, you're on constant medication, constant hospital visits, and constant having a camera up, the rectum to check for cancer, and this is ever since I was 19. So this has been half of my life that I haven't been well for. But the thing is, you can put makeup on the outside of you, you can do your hair and all of that, but it doesn't mean that you're well inside. You can, like anything, a bit like acting, you can put a mask on anything. You can, that's what you do. And it's been tough. I wish that I could have worked harder. If I had my health, so many people take their health for granted, and
do you feel it set you back though?
Oh God, yeah. oh, there's so many things I would have tried for, you know, if only I'd been able to, yeah.
Okay, moving on from that health issue, then you suffered from psoriasis, which was extremely bad and really took over your life for a year and a half. How did that come about, and what were the issues with that?
Okay, I've always suffered with psoriasis, and I believe the first time that I ever got a little patch of it was on my leg when I was about 11. I believe it's from my mum's side of the family. There's a couple of people in the family that do suffer with it too. Had a bit of a bad bout when I was 22, and that happened when my mum and my stepdad split up. Psoriasis seems to really hit me when relationships break up or somebody dies. Yeah, so it was pretty bad then. Had it for about a year, covered me, and then literally about a year and a half ago, my dad passed away 4 years ago on January the 11th, 2013. And that was all very bad because he passed away in Thailand, and it was my last holiday that I had with him. I never had a lot of time with him, not really. His wife didn't like me, so I didn't like to go to the house. Like at certain times I'd go late at night to sort of escape her, if you like, but it was seen as something else. It was just seems so she turns up late at night, but you know, I can go into this a bit later. Anyway, yeah, he passed away in Thailand, and my dad had lots of money and stuff like that. Now, when his body was repatriated, when it was flown back, none of the stuff was in his suitcase. He had cameras and camcorders and expensive shirts and things like that. My dad was a bit of a bugger, you know. He was 72 when he passed away, and he partied until the absolute end. He was fantastic like that. You know, truth be told, I did not get on with him all the time. I really didn't. But at the end, that last holiday, and I actually spent my birthday with him, my only birthday in my whole life, I spent with him in Thailand. And I was on a 2-week holiday with the love of my life, who I thought was anyway. Been with that guy for a couple of years. And yep, gone home at the end of October, thinking that he would come back in the February, because my dad used to bugger off for a couple of months at a time. And he was always going out there. I mean, he had cookers and stuff like that in his room. He had so much stuff. And he liked the girls out there as well, you know. His wife, that relationship was all falling apart. She'd met somebody else, and he had the girls out in Thailand, you know. It's just what he did. So what? He was 72, you know, go do your thing, you know, do it. Yeah, so it was a huge shock, because literally I said goodbye to him that day. I jumped in the taxi, and I was crying because I didn't want to leave, but the ulcerative colitis was playing up the whole time I was out there, so I couldn't eat and I couldn't go out a lot. So when I did go out, I'd only have a sip of water. I wasn't able to have, like, you know, I think there was one day I had a cocktail or two. That might be my birthday, but I had to keep near the toilet again. Awful, terrible disease. I couldn't even have that holiday with him. Couldn't even have that, let alone like a normal life. Yeah, so that was all very nasty, and we don't know what happened to him. We don't know if somebody attacked him. We don't know if he was murdered. We do know that there's a cover-up with the Thai police, and we do know that all of this stuff was stolen, the expensive cameras and camcorders. It hurts me to this day, because it's so painful to lose a parent anyway, but to not know what happened will always eat me away.
Okay.
Yeah, it's true.
But moving on from that as well, let's talk about your love life and the men in your life. How's that been?
Oh God. The end.
Have you got time for this?
Oh God, where do I start? Okay. I haven't had that many boyfriends actually, and that's funny, isn't it? Because people perceive me to be a certain way because I've got the blonde hair and all of that. They think that I'm a bit of a good time girl, but all it is I was brought up to be friendly and respectful and polite, but people see me as something else. And the thing is, I have now got to 40 years old and I haven't put lots of weight on and stuff like that, like a lot of people my age have. I don't have a problem with people who put on weight. I'm just saying that I've managed to somehow, strangely enough, keep the same figure that I've always had. And lots of men perceive me to be that way, and I'm not, and they think that I'm fake in all sorts of ways, and I'm not. The only fake thing about me, if it is fake, is my blonde hair. But the thing is, if anybody dyes their hair, then basically I think that, I guess it's kind of making you fake anyway, because it's not the way that you were born. It's a bit like putting makeup on, you're not really showing your true face or your true anything to the world. So it's a funny thing. I don't like the thing about blondes. But yeah, my love life was probably a lot better when I was younger. My first relationship was nearly 6 years, from when I was 15 to 21. Yeah, that ended badly. He went off with somebody else. The stuff that happens when you're young and you just have to get through it. I was devastated after that. I met somebody else, but to be honest, not a lot of my relationships have been very, very good at all. There's been violence, getting my flat all smashed up and stuff. And the thing is, I'm not saying it's 100% these guys' faults or anything like that, because a lot of men really don't like someone that's opinionated or mouthy or whatever, but I think that you should be able to have an opinion without getting a slap in the mouth, or have to call the police, or be frightened, or get your arm broken or something like that. I've had some lovely boyfriends or people that I've seen for a little bit, and I wish them all the best, even if they wasn't for me. But I've had some awful, tough times too. Yeah, some real nightmarish boyfriends. Oh God, I couldn't even tell you. Yeah.
Okay, so we've spoken about a lot of the past and not been so great, but what do you hope for the future, or what do you want for the future?
I want everything. I want everything, and I don't have a lot, really. Okay, so all the films that I've made with Colin Marrison, I would like to get those out there and package them and, sell them, make some money, have a business going on. I'll still carry on writing films and screenplays and documentaries, all of that kind of thing. As for my love life, I should like for it to improve. A bit of security would be nice. I don't have children. I've got 2 cats. They might as well be my children, best children I'll ever have. But it's only lately that I've actually felt like I wanted children, but it could be a problem actually carrying and that kind of thing. And maybe I'm just too old now, I don't know. But I chose to make films in my life. That's what I chose to do, as opposed to bringing up children. I will never ever regret that, because these films will always be there, and I'm very proud of that we've made something. Whether people think they're good or not, I don't care, but we've made something that will always be there in history, just a bit like a photograph, like a captured in time for that one moment, and you can't ever get it back. And yeah, a constancy that will always be there, a recording like this, actually. Yeah.
Would you open a cat sanctuary? Or an
I
animal
would,
sanctuary?
yeah. If I had lots of money, which I don't, yeah, I would love to have an animal sanctuary, not just cats. Just I used to volunteer at the RSPCA in Leybourne in the cattery, and I loved it. I loved it there. And what happened was, my car, there was always something wrong with it. It was always breaking down all the time, so I couldn't get over it. It's quite far from here, but I absolutely love that time. And it's so nice to give something back as well. But I just wish that we could earn enough money so at least I could even buy a flat or a house or buy a car even, you know. Just have the choice to do nice things with the creative buzz that we all share together. That's what I would really like. But yeah, more than anything, I would love to, this sounds so wet, it really does. I just love to have a man in my life that loves me, and it's not one of these things that last a couple of years and then they bugger off, or then they can't deal with, you know, me getting depressed over my father passing away, or they think, you know, my mental health problems, you know. God, I make myself sound terrible, don't I? But it's the truth. That's all there is, really. I'm just being absolutely truthful. You know, it's not been so easy, but I think that to remain positive if you can, then that's great. But I would love to have someone in my life that stays and that is constant, and everything that other people take granted for, you know, like you go to bed with the person that you love and you wake up with them and you have dinners with them and you sit and watch TV and laugh and all of that. I don't have that, and I haven't had that for years, and I don't know if it's something else to do with me. But all I know is I'm trying to get better. Ever since my dad passed away, I try and treat people better and have a different kind of outlook since then. But maybe I'm just a bit old-fashioned. You know, most guys just, because I'm blonde and all of that, just think, oh, I just want a quick one sort of thing. But I don't want that. I'm far too old-fashioned like that, far too old-fashioned. But I've always said I think that I was just born too late. I should have been born in the 1940s to be alive in the 1960s. That would be my perfect era. You know, Twiggy, the Kinks, the Rolling Stones. Just a fantastic time to have lived. You know, the generation was different then. People are just so different these days. They're so materialistic. They not even kind. You know, they won't stop on the street and give to somebody. It doesn't matter if someone's homeless or not. If you give them £2 or give them a bacon roll that you went to Subways and brought, whether they're homeless or not, does it really matter? Does it really? But people are just, it seems that so many people are really hard these days, and I don't know, I can't get my head around that. I really can't. There's a lot of people that are very, very kind and do lots of charitable work as well. A lot of the actors that I work with, it's fantastic. But I don't know, I just don't feel like I really belong in this time. But I don't really feel like I've belonged anywhere or to anyone, really, to be honest. The only time that I feel really 100% happy is when I'm in front of the camera and I'm acting. That's where I feel most at home.
You're lost about the camera, aren't you? Lost about the filming.
My phone's ringing. Hang on.
Tell your agent you're busy.
Hello. You just called me while I'm filming. Can you call back in a minute? It's my agent. Are you offering me £1 million job for something?
Shot number 6.
Okay. I'll call you back in. Can you call me back in like 5 minutes? All right. Okay. Bye.
Parental.
Okay. Thank you for watching. I hope that you found that interesting. Okay, add yourself onto our Facebook, Skitheads TV and Marson Films, www.marsonfilms.com. I'm Sonya Roseman and Colin Marison has been filming this, and thank you very much to Steve Blakelock for being the person off camera. Yeah, peace, light and love all the way. Fabulous. Have a fantastic summer. Mr. President.